Okay, since this isn't really about having you watch it live, it's just to make a quick video and get my point of view about some things, okay? So, first of all, let's, okay, here we go. Here we go. Okay, very well. So, first of all, my man, that umbrella, make a video about more dumb people in the publishers talking about fansplaining. Hey, Pablo, Flores, and Crypto Dev. I'm here for the porn. Dude, no porn here. Okay, so they keep the quarter cruiser. Yes, that's the best thing to do. That umbrella was talking about this. You should go watch his video. He always makes great videos. And he was talking about fansplaining and more assholes using the term. Very well. Here's the thing, okay? I do believe that there might be some people that may do this in a convention. Yes, I could see it happening. Okay. Now, the problem here is that we call ourselves fans, and they call us fans, and everybody tells we are fans. We're not fans. Really, we're customers. First and foremost, customers. So, anybody that's using this unironically, fansplaining, well, we wallet explain them. Okay, what's wallet explaining? Oh, very well. Wallet explaining is not buying stuff from people that hate your guts. Plain and simple. Don't give money to the bigots. Why? Because the bigots hate you. So you shouldn't give money to them. Plain and simple. Wallet explaining. Make it happen. Make it so. Now, with that out of the way, I was talking with whom was I talking that told me that, oh, Mr. Batman, yes, Mr. Batman. He told me that he wanted to see the video, and we were talking about some stuff, boycotts and all of that. And many people really don't get it. They don't see failed to see the signs and fail to recognize patterns. Now, here's the thing. Once is happenstance. Twice is coincidence. Three is a pattern. What do we call it when there's 5, 6 instances of the same thing happening over and over again, and always the same kind of people, when not the same people, but many times it's the same people. Sometimes it's just the same kind of people with the same ideology doing the same things. What do I mean? Okay, first of all, not many of you may know this, because not all of you are as geek as I am. Okay, yes. I am geeker than you. Way geeker than you. This started a long time ago. Okay, no, it's not nothing new. And as far as I can tell, it started in science fiction, in fantasy, in the books, in writing, in the novels. It started with the Hugos and the Nebulas, okay? And little by little, bit by bit, they started in the IRC and in the forums, in the conventions, and little by little they got power. And once they get the power, they start kicking out the geeks. Maybe you didn't see this tweet, but Claire Lehman, I think I butchered her name, but anyway, if you're not following her, follow her. She has a great brain, and she does a good job of explaining stuff. Okay, and in this tweet, subcultures have a predictable life cycle in which popularity causes death. And it links to an article that it's here. And guess what? She's right. Okay. There was a time when being tricky was something to be laughed at. Sometimes even by other geeks would point and laugh at people dressing up as Klingons and learning the language and stuff, you know. But then it became mainstream. Science fiction became mainstream. And then what happened? The invasion. The invasion by whom? First, by the Muggles, the normies, what she calls the mobs. Okay? Once a subculture becomes mainstream, this subculture, of course, becomes a money maker. You suddenly can live and live well only by catering to that subculture, and you get social power, you get prestige, you get fame, you get money. Okay, and this attracts the sociopaths, as she calls them, and they are sociopaths. Okay, don't get me wrong, they are sociopaths, or maybe it's even psychopaths. I don't know, but they're crazy people. And these people, they don't really, the mobs, the Muggles, the normies, they don't really care about the subculture, you know. They are there because it became mainstream. It became cool to belong. So that's why they are there. And they say, oh, I love it. But once it's not cool anymore, they will go elsewhere. Okay? Right now, what's cool? What's cool is superhero movies and comic books. It's cool. So they are there. Not so much in comic books, but in movies. But anywhere. Anyway, they are there. So what happens with science fiction movies? You don't see that many science fiction movies, and the ones you see are not as successful in the box office as the superhero ones. Why? Because the Muggles, the mobs, are not there. They are already moving to the next cool thing. And it's not only in comic books and in movies. It's in Linux, for instance, okay, in the development of open source software. They are there too, okay? So once the Muggles move, the subculture becomes less profitable because there's less people. Some of these mobs, these Muggles, will become real geeks, okay? Will become really invested in the culture, but only some. So when the bulk of them moves to the next cool thing, that subculture will wither down and sometimes even die because the sociopaths, they don't care about the subculture at all. They only care about the money. She explains it all here. She managed to put in writing a lot of stuff and help me to put my thoughts in line. You know, a lot of stuff I had years thinking about, but I hadn't managed to get a straight line between all of the thoughts. You know, connect all the dots. So you should go read her article. It's really a great article. So the sociopaths only want the money. They only want the power. Okay, the social power, the economic power, the sexual power. That's what they want. That's what they are here. Okay, that's why they go to a subculture, because it's where the power is. They want to control, to manipulate. They want to profit, and that's all they care. Of course, at first, these people are great at making money because they are good at manipulating people. So at first, it's a good relationship between these people and the first geeks, the creators. But not all of the creators are going to submit to the sociopaths. Some, not even knowing why, will move away, will go away. And those who don't submit will be ostracized, will be labeled. You're an ist, you're a phob, you know? So, all this is while the sociopaths are managing to get all the power in the culture. Once they have all the power, their very nature makes them destroy the culture. They can't help it. Okay? They are not creative people. They are sociopaths. And little by little, they start kicking out more and more creative people. The few people inside have to conform to their views, therefore killing creativity. This will in turn make the geeks, the consumers, the real fans, if you will, this will make them angry. This will make them have a backlash, and the backlash will be directed against these people. But since they are great at manipulating people, they will convince the creatives that are still there and the Muggles that the geeks aren't reacting to something real. They are reacting because they are ists and phobes. I mentioned that once is happenstance, twice is coincidence, three is a pattern. Very well. Bear with me and follow me, okay? I'm going to take you down the rabbit hole. First, it was science fiction. Very well. Science fiction was a popular thing. We had many shows in TV. We had Star Trek. We had Galactica. We had many and movies and books. And science fiction was even becoming real big in comic books. So the sociopaths killed the culture for all intents and purposes. The reconstructions haven't They haven't still milked the last dollar they can. So the reconstruction is just starting in the fringes of the culture. Some people are starting to reconstruct. Go ask sad puppies. While this was going on in science fiction, comics had become popular too. So they went there. The Muggles and the sociopaths after them went there. What this made was a huge boom and then a crash. And we haven't been able to rebuild because there are still sociopaths there. We need to let it crash and burn completely, or at least one of the big two needs to crash and burn. Okay. My money is in Marvel because right now DC seems to be listening to the real consumers, to the people that really put their money where their mouth is. Now, while these two things were happening, they went to Magic the Gathering. They went to video games. They went to Warhammer 40K. They went to tabletop RPGs. So, how many times does that make? Are we still talking coincidence? All geek subcultures and all by the same kind of people. And sometimes you will find this woman in Black Label. Do you remember her name? Anybody? It's not some sort of clique, CryptoDev. It's a clique. That's what they are. And there was this woman in DC Black Label. I don't remember her name right now, but she is writing Wonder Woman for DC Black Label, and she is also in D&D. Okay. Antarctic. Okay, very well. Very well. So this woman, that's in DC Black Label. Let me see if I can't find her. DC Black Label. DC launches. Okay, this is going to be right here. She's going to be her name. I'm betting that. Kelly Sue DeConnick. Kelly Sue DeConnick. Okay, she's doing work in some RPGs. So it's not really a conspiracy theory when we can prove the same people have their dirty meats in all the pies. You see Fraunita Shekelsian, video games. Now she's going after comic books, comic book movies. She's going after tabletop too. The same people, the same people, and they are friends among themselves. It's a clique. That's what it is. It's a clique. It's the exact same people. So they get there, they invade, they co-opt, they kick out the people that was really invested in the culture, that was really putting money for years, way before the Muggles came aboard. So they are all over the place. It's not a coincidence, okay? It's every single geek subculture. And I'm thinking she didn't went there, but here's the thing, okay? These people have made year after year efforts to go to Wikipedia and edit the articles there, injecting their ideology. Okay, even if it means putting lies, putting stuff that's false in the articles. So if they and this is organized by the college professors, you know, the social studies professors are the ones that organize this. So I'm not saying that it's not an organized effort to do that. Why? Because geeks are Mexican, are Spanish, are gringos, are blacks, are yellow, are women, are gays, are anything, you know. You can be a science fiction fan and be blind because there are books in Braille. You can be a science fiction fan and be deaf because you only need to go watch it with subtitles or wait for the DVDs or Blu-rays to come out. And you can read the comic books. And there are novels about superheroes, about comic books. There are novels about Spider-Man and about Superman and about Batman. So you can be blind and read about that too. We don't care. We don't care if you're a woman. We don't care who you bump uglies with. We don't care about your colors, your skin color. We don't care. All we care is that you love the medium, that you love the hobby. And the Muggles come and say, "Oh yes, I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. It's great. Oh yes, so great. So huge." And it's not true. They are not invested. They are going to leave after the next cool thing. And the sociopaths. This is why I think they are. This is a coordinated effort. Okay, maybe not at the start, but I am sure right now. I am sure that this is a coordinated effort. Why? Because we have our own identity. It's an identity called geek, and it's all encompassing. You can be anything else. We don't care. We don't care. If you're a Lando Calrissian pansexual wanting to fuck androids, we don't care. You do you. But you do have to love the culture. That's all we care. So they need to destroy that identity because that identity has led us to win at least partially against them in the culture wars. You know, the Hugos are destroyed. Okay, nobody really cares anymore about the Hugos except them. Why? Because we know the Hugo is not a guarantee of quality anymore. The same goes for the Eisner, because they have co-opted the Eisner Award. So Sad Puppies won there. Then Gamergate came, and Gamergate, in a very limited fashion, but they won too. And the sociopaths weren't able to divide geek versus geek, because we don't care what sex, sexuality, color. We don't care. As long as you're not a pedo, as long as you're not a rapist, as long as you're not a serial killer, as long as you're not a sociopath, we don't care. And they can't allow any identity that goes beyond the skin, beyond the sex, beyond the sexuality, because they gain power and money by dividing us. That's why they hate national identities. That's why they are globalists. Because if you're gringos and you have the national identity, okay, I'm a USA citizen, and then I don't know, Latino or black or Asian or Christian or Muslim or a non-believer or a Zoroastrian, whatever. But you can you are the same as any other American citizen that doesn't look like you, that doesn't talk like you, that doesn't like the same things like that you do, and that doesn't fuck the same way you do. Why? Because you're American citizens. And the same goes for geeks, the geek identity. But they can't. When you have a national identity, they come and say, "Oh yes, xenophobia. Oh yes, racism. Oh yes." No, 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 no. They want to destroy it because they need to divide us. Why? Because they gain power, political, social, economical power by doing so. It's a business. We need to stop letting them divide us. We are geeks. I don't agree with a lot of what DNC says, okay? But he's a geek. We can disagree. I don't have to hate anybody that I disagree with. Why? Because it's human nature. We're humans. If we all were thought the same way, we would be the Borg, not humans. Okay? I don't care about anything else. When we are talking about geek culture, all I care about is that you are a geek. I don't care about anything else. Okay? If we ever get into a discussion about something else, then I will care about that other topic that we're talking about. I don't know, politics or religion or anything else, science. But when we're talking about geek culture, all I care about is that you are a geek, that you love the culture, that you are part of the culture. If you're not part of the culture, then see you later, Paulo. Eat well. Bon appetit, mon ami. AJ solo don't know how to drive. So we need to make more people really. If you don't want to share my videos, it's okay. Share her article because she's not wrong. She doesn't go deep enough in her analysis, but she's not wrong. Okay? She's not wrong. She's right. But this isn't a coincidence. This isn't just the cycle of life. Okay? No. This is a concerted effort to destroy the geek identity. They need to destroy that identity. Like they try to destroy the gamer identity. Because those identities go way beyond race, sex, gender, sexual orientation, religion, nationality, and they can't allow those identities to exist because as long as those identities exist, they can't control everything because we know the truth. We are outside of the matrix looking in because we know that geeks are not what they say they are. Because we know that we talk with people from all over the world and we don't give a damn. Many times we don't even know. We get surprised. Oh, you're a Mexican too, paisano. Or, oh, you're gay. Oh, nice. So what? Okay. And why don't we know that John Doe is gay? Because we don't care. We don't give a damn about that thing. We care about geek culture. We care about our hobbies. And they are everywhere working their way up and up to the power, and they are going to destroy everything. Okay? In science fiction, there was sad puppies, and now there's a pulp revolution. Okay? They are working, they are doing their own. And if you can write, you can publish your books. You don't need a publisher thanks to the internet. All you need is make a Patreon, give, I don't know, 1, 2, 3 chapters for free, and make people give you money and give them access to your works. And little by little, you can be a published author and become even better known than them. It's not something unheard of. Okay? Comic books are harder. You need to be a writer, you need to be an artist, or you need to have someone that can draw, that won't charge you until the books sell, or you need to have the money. It's harder, but it's not impossible. It can be made. Okay? Tabletop, same shit. If you know how to play, if you know how to write, and if you are logical in your thinking, you can make new games and self-publish in PDF for starters, or make an Indiegogo. Same goes for video games. If you know how to program, or you can learn, it's not that hard to do. You can make games. You can get together with fellow programmers that want to make good games and make an Indiegogo. and make the next Witcher, make the next Cuphead. Okay, make our own. It's time to start making our own. It's time to start uh, building parallel structures. So when they destroy what is there, we have something to go, someplace to go. Now is the time. So stop listening to this stupid Mexican and go make your own, okay? Well, I'm going to make the weekly geek out in a bit. So I think I'm going to cut this right now. Thank you for dropping by. If you're watching this afterwards, tell me what you think in the comments. And if you like the content, subscribe, hit the like button, and remember, don't go quietly into the night. Rage against the machine. Goodbye and see you soon.